Okay, so none of this is actually real. Not my face, not this room. I literally do not exist. No studio, just AI. Everything you just watched was made with AI. That tech pastor will show you this on May 14th. Links right there. Yeah.
All right, it is rainy and windy, and hopefully the background noise isn't going to be too much. So this is a very interesting video, and I want to point out a few things without coming off as like accusatory or like mean or anything like that, because I want to be clear. That tech pastor, the guy who does this video, who doesn't make it stitchable, and you have to download it so that you can do this kind of stuff, his heart's exactly in the right place. He wants to help the church. He wants to empower the church. He wants the church to be more effective, and he thinks technology is the way to do that. But this video clearly shows kind of like the lasting effects of some things in culture that I don't think he's either aware of, I don't think that he's adequately dealing with. If you look at his videos, there's a preponderance of two things in these kind of motion capture AI things that he's kind of not obsessed with, but he's definitely making like the most use of. He thinks it's like a powerful tool that we'll be able to use for media in the church, that kind of stuff. And that is, you'll see attractive women, or you'll see provocatively attractive men. Those two things. And there's other examples too. Like he's done examples where he's done a bunch of different motion capture stuff where like he turns himself into a cartoon, turns himself into, you know, like there's a bunch of stuff, but there's a preponderance of those two things, attractive women, and, you know, provocatively attractive men. I did a video a while ago of the guy, the video started with a shirtless guy at a resort spraying people with champagne, and I just don't see that where that's going to get used in church. But his heart's in the right place. Why is that stuff showing up there? Because you look at this video and you watch it and like, this is clearly a girl flirting with you. This is a girl on a date. That's why there is two coffee cups in that one scene where she's kind of sitting on the counter. That's why she's at a coffee shop and she's talking to you. Like, this is clearly a girl flirting with you. Why would that be kind of where this goes? What, like, I understand that you can use it to make videos, but why did it naturally go to a girl flirting with you in order to show that you could make videos? There's a ton of ways you could do this. Why is it a girl flirting with you? Well, this is a tie-up with adult media being a cultural force for a lot of guys, especially that tech pastor's age, growing up. It has lasting effects. The church has taught since like the inception of adult media and like magazines, VHS, DVDs, that kind of stuff, that it is lust, that it is an outcropping of lust because you are looking at members of the opposite sex or the same sex in states of undress or position or, you know, combinations, that kind of stuff, that you're looking at those and that is lust that you are dealing with. And so they dealt with it as if it was lust. It wasn't. It was idolatry, which is a very big distinction, not just kind of conceptual idolatry, actual idolatry where you like make or keep or collect or acquire small versions of the image of something else. And that never got dealt with. And so the effects are felt downstream where like you go through the motions of saying, I'm going to go to this thing and then get the in-person experience that I can't get like for myself. I'm going to get it from this thing so that I have control over that kind of thing. And then that's going to be how I fill that need, because that's, you know, the opportunity that's placed before me because of this thing, the idol, the adult media. That's how that's working. When that's treated like lust, that kind of process of exchanging people for things doesn't go away. And then later, and we saw this during the pandemic, later, it shows up with you saying, like, I don't have an attractive woman to talk about, you know, my church, but I can prompt one. I don't have an attractive man or an elderly person or a kid's cartoon character. I don't have these things. So, but I can prompt one. I can exchange a person for the thing that I need so I can do it. More importantly, I can turn myself into that person the same way that in adult media, you turn yourself into the person that can perform like adult media actors perform. You can turn yourself into the kind of person that would have women throwing themselves at you, that kind of stuff. And vice versa. Like when you take that even into a non-sexual context, you can turn yourself into an influential person. So like this is the tail end of that. And it's not me accusing him of using this stuff now. I'm almost positive he doesn't. I'm almost positive that he's like on the straight and narrow, but just doesn't know that that's what that stuff actually was. There's not a bat's chance in hell that he somehow got through Christian life as like a tech focused person and didn't get exposed to this stuff at all. So like what were the lasting effects of being exposed to it at all? You know, that's what's coming up through here. And so like I want to stress, I think his heart's in the right place, but there's a reason why this girl is like simultaneously kind of on a date with you and flirting with you. That's why she plays with her hair. There's a reason that's the angle this video takes to get you to consider using this technology, because that's where it comes from. It comes from adult media. That's the purpose. The purpose of generative AI like this was not so that, you know, you can, you know, make amazing videos, or that you could, you know, be empowered as a creator so you don't have a studio and you don't have, you know, all the kind of necessity of physical needs to be able to do this stuff. No, the point of it was exactly what it does. It's like, I need this person to do these things, which taken to its logical conclusion is what adult media is. It's what it's always been. And so like anytime you see this stuff, it is functionally not different than adult media. It's functionally not different. And like you saw this the same kind of way during COVID, during the lockdown. And I've never met this pastor. I don't know what church he goes to. I don't know any of that kind of stuff, but I can guarantee you that he did video services during COVID. Why? Because all pastors did. 96%, according to Barna, did that. Because why? They were taught by adult media growing up that you can exchange an in-person thing for a digital thing where you can put it on a screen, that you can do church through this because it looks like that, because that's how the church was treating adult media. Since the magazine looked like naked people, it must have been naked people, but it wasn't. It was an idol of those naked people, and it got you to work through your mind that you can exchange that stuff and it's fine. You can just find a Christian way to do it. Like that's the bait and switch that we've kind of fallen for, and why this tech is so hazardous when used improperly. And I think the tech pastor is probably, you know, trying to find the non-hazardous ways to do that. But if you didn't know it was a hazard to begin with, then like how are you going to avoid that hazard? Which is why this girl is flirting with you, and it's the tech pastor flirting with you through the girl. Like that's how that works. Like it's him talking as a girl flirting with the viewer. So like that's where we have to start assessing this stuff, because yeah, it's amazing that you can make that with like no studio and stuff like that. I would have loved to see what the prompt was to get that out, because it would be eye-opening to see how we got to that, and how much of this work of like treating it like a weird form of adult media is actually the thing itself, like I think it is. Because that's the natural purpose of this. You can't have a machine that that knows about how to make any celebrity in any state of undress, in any position, doing any activity, and not have it go that way. I mean, and I was talking about water skiing just there. I was talking about like Jeff Goldblum water skiing, but like you knew exactly what I wasn't talking about, didn't you? That's because this is how this works. So this is a very strange video, and it's eye-opening to see that this is where we're kind of trending as Christian thought leaders and practitioners. That it's like, yeah, it's tricky, because like I think that's where this comes from, and it's very problematic, because I don't think that's where it should be coming from.